In this video, we will explore basic toolbar, and these are the tools. So to select these tools, from the main menu bar, select new entity and a drop down menu bar will be opened, and from this drop down menu select basic and a sub menu will be open, and here you can select these tools. And you can also select these tools from the basic toolbar, and clicking on any of these icons will prompt you a dialog box and where you can make edits. So this is the basic toolbar, and from here I will select the first tool, point, and clicking on it will prompt me a dialog box. So here we have 5 algorithms in the point property panel, and I will select the first algorithm, and in the first algorithm we need to set x, y and z distances, and from the origin at the specified distance the point will be created. So here I will enter 7 for the x direction, 79, and for the y I'll set 56, and for the z I'll set it to 0, and I'll click this apply and close button, and here the point is created. So in this case I have selected the second algorithm, and in this algorithm we need to select a point to create a new point. So here I will select this point, and I want to move this point on this edge of this box. So here I'll set the dimensions, and this point will be created here. So now I'll select this point, and you can see the coordinates of this point here. Now I'll set the digit value to 70, and you can see at a distance of 70 the point is moved, and here I'll set the dy value to -100, and here the point is created. Now I'll click this apply and close button to save the changes, and the point is created here. So in this case I'll select the third algorithm, and in the third algorithm we have 3 types to create a point. So here I have selected the first one by parameter, and in this case we need to select edge and set parameter to create a point. So here I will select this edge from this object box, and by default with the parameter distance of 0.5 the point is created here. Now I'll set the parameter to 0.8, and you can see that the point is created here. Now I'll click this apply and close button to save the changes, and here the point is created. So I'll select the second type by length, and here we need to select edge and select a start point, and from there we can set the length. So here I will select this edge, and after selecting the edge the point is created here. Now I'll select the start point, and here I'll select the start point, and from here I will set the length. So you can see here I have entered 10, and with the distance of 10 the point is created here. Now I'll click this apply and close button to save the changes, and this is the point created. So now I'll select the third type by coordinate, and here we need to select edge, and so this is the edge I'll select, and you can see that the point is created here. Now click this apply and close button to save the changes. In this case, I will select the fourth algorithm, and in this algorithm we need to select two lines and there the point will be created. So from this object I will select this line, and for the second line I'll select this edge, and you can see in the intersection of these two edges the point is created. Now I'll click this apply and close button to save the changes, and here the point is created. So I'll select the last algorithm, and we have two algorithms here, and here I'll select the first type by parameter, and we need to select a face to create a point, and we have the options to set u and v parameters. So here I want to create the point on the face, so here I will select this front face of this object, and you can see with the u parameter 0.5 and v parameter 0.5 by default the point is created in the middle. Now I'll change the u parameter to 0.7 and v parameter to 0.8, and this is how the point is created. Now click this apply and close button to save the changes, and this is the point created, and here you can see the point is created on the selected face. So in this case I will select the second type by coordinate. So in this case also we need to select a face to create a point. So here I'll select this front face of this box, and you can see I can also set the coordinate distances here. So with the distance of 7 in the x direction the point is created. So here I have entered 70, and for the y with the distance of 60 the point is changed. Now I'll click this apply and close button to save the changes. The next tool is line, and to create it we have two algorithms, and here I have selected the first one. So in this case we need to select 2 points to create a line, and after selecting the line will be created automatically. So for the point 1 I will select this vertex from this object, and for the point 2 I'll select this vertex from this object because I want to create a line here. So that's why I'll select these two vertices from this box, and you can see by default after selecting the line is created. And now click this apply and close button to save these changes, and this is the line created. So in this case I have selected the second algorithm, and in this algorithm we need to select two faces to create a line. So for the first face I'll select this face from this object, and this is the second face. So now the line will be created here. So this is the line created. Because so this is the face I have selected and this is the face. So these two faces I have selected and the intersection is the line. So the next tool is circle and we have three algorithms to create a circle. So here I have selected the first type. So we need to select center point and vector and set radius for that. So for the center point I will select this object's vertex because I want to create a circle here, and you can see by default with the radius of 100 the circle is created here and it automatically sets the vector to z axis and it will create in this direction. So we can also set the vector. You can select the object normals for the vector or you can select here ox, oy and oz in the object browser. Now I'll set the radius to 70 and click this apply button and this is the circle created. So in the second algorithm we need to select points to create a circle. So from the view I will select these 3 points and for the point 1 I will select this vertex and this will be the second, third, and you can see based on the selected points the circle is created automatically. Now click this apply and close button to save the changes. So in this case I'll select the third algorithm and to create a circle we need to select a center point and select point 1 and 2. So for the center point I will select this vertex and for the point 1 I'll select this vertex and this will be the point 2. So you can see the center point will be the center of this circle and this is the point 1 and this is the point 2. Based on these 2 points with the center point the circle is created. So now I'll select the fourth tool ellipse and to create we have only one algorithm and you can see in this property panel that we need to select a center point or it will automatically taken the point will be taken as origin point and for the axis it automatically takes z axis by default and we can also select vector from the object browser or we can select it from the view. And for the major axis by default it took as x-axis and we can also select the axis from object browser. So here I will not change these two and I'll set the center point this point and for the major radius I'll set to 320 and for the minor radius I'll set to 60. Now I'll click this apply and close button to save the changes and this is the ellipse created. And the next tool is arc and to create arc we have 3 algorithms and in the first algorithm to create we need to select 3 points and for the point 1 I'll select this vertex from the view and this is the second, and this will be the third. And you can select these vertices from the view, or you can select it from object browser. And here I have selected these vertices by holding shift key, and you can see based on the selected vertices the arc is created. Now I'll click this apply and close button to save the changes, and this is how the arc is created based on these points. So in this case I will select the second algorithm, and in this algorithm we need to select a start point and end point and the center point. And for the center point I'll select this vertex, and this will be the start and this will be the end. So here you can see that you can simply click or you can just drag the mouse and it will automatically select it by holding the shift key. And you can see this is the center point and this is the start point and this is the end point, and from the start point the arc is created till the end, making this as the center point. Now click this apply and close button to save the changes. Now here I'll select the reverse option, and you can see it will create a reverse arc. So before this is the arc and this is the arc in the reverse direction. Now I'll click this apply button. So this is how the arc is created. So now I'll select the third algorithm. So before I have selected points from the view. Now to demonstrate how to create the arc in this algorithm, I'll select it from object. So you cannot create arc on the object also or anywhere. So here from this object I'll select this as the center point. So clicking on this vertex it will automatically select it, and for the point 1 I'll select this vertex and this will be the second vertex. So you can see this is the arc created. Now I click this apply and close button to save the changes. So the next tool is curve, and to create a curve we have three algorithms. So here I will select the first algorithm polyline, and here we have two types, by selection, and the second type is analytical. So here I'll select the first one by selection. Here to create a polyline we need to select points. So from the view I will select these points. So I'll click on each point by holding shift key, and you can see the curve is created here, and this is the curve. Now I'll select this build a closed weld, and this builds a closed curve. So here I'll select the second one. So the next tool is vector, and to create a vector we have two algorithms, and in the first algorithm we need to select 2 points to create a vector. So from the view I'll select this as the point 1 and this will be the second, and a vector is created automatically by selecting these 2 points. Now I click the apply and close button to save the changes. So here I have selected the second algorithm, and in this algorithm we can create a vector along the coordinates from the origin. So this is the trihedron. So here you can see I'll set the dy distance, and this is in the dy direction, and I'll set dz. Now I'll set dx. You can see accordingly the vector is created from the origin by setting x, y, z direction. We can create a vector in this case. So now I'll select the next tool, 2D sketch, and here you can select element type and profiles made of element type as line segments and arcs and rectangles. So here I have selected line segments because I wanted to create a pie shape. So you can select point accordingly. So here I have selected absolute. Now I want to create a point here because I wanted to start the sketch from here. So for that we need to create 0 for x and y and click this apply button, and you can see a point is created here, and from this point I will extend a length in the x direction to 90. So here you can see from here I have created a line. Now I'll click this apply button to save the changes. Now you can see I want to create pi, so for that I want in this direction. So for that I'll apply minus 30 in y direction and click this apply button, and again you can see that I will create a line in x direction 30, and you can see I have created a line, and again I will create a vertical line downwards minus 60 and click this apply button, and in the x direction 90 and click the apply button, and in the y direction minus 30 130 and click this apply button, and similarly I will create lines and click the apply button, and in the last I'll click sketch closer, and this will connect the last and the first points, and you can see I have created a phi shape. Now the next tool is 2D polyline, and to create a 2D polyline we need to select points from the view. So here I will select this insert new section, and this will insert a new section here. So we can click here to add a new polyline. Click on this add button, and you can see a new section is created here, and from this I will select this add mode, edition mode. So a section is created. Now we will create a polyline now. Clicking on this edition mode. So here I will simply click on the view to create points, and you can see a polyline is created. Now click this apply button to save the changes, and this is the polyline created. So in this case, I'll set the type to spline and click on add and select this add addition mode. So you can see I am creating a spline. Now click the apply button to save the changes. So you can see a new polyline is created. So now I will unselect this closed and this will not create a closed polyline. Now click on add to add new polyline and here I will randomly create points. Selecting on, you can create a polyline in the view as you can see. Now click this apply button. So you can see modification mode here. So clicking on any of this point, you can see the x and y coordinates here. So you can change the values here. So here I'll change the x coordinate to 100. And this is how the polygon is constructed. Similarly, clicking on any of other points, you can change the xy coordinates. The next tool is 3D sketch. And to create a 3D sketch, we can select coordinate type to xyz coordinates or angles. And here I have selected the move to absolute. So here what I'll do was I'll create point in 0 for x, y and z. First I'll create one point. Now click this apply button. So in this case I want to create an arrow mark. So in x direction I'll set to 20 and in y direction I'll set to -60 and again I'll create in the same direction and change the x to 80 and you can also see the coordinates here in x, y and z. It is displayed. I'll select the next tool, isoline, and to create isoline we have only one algorithm and here to create we need to select a face. So isoline will be created on the selected face. So we have two types here, U isoline and V isoline. So here we'll see. And now from the view I'll select this face and by default with the parameter 0.5 isoline is created here. Now I'll set it to 0.7. Now click this apply button to save the changes. So you can see this is the isoline created. So in this case I'll select the second type V isoline. You can see this is the isoline created with the distance of 0.5 and I'll set it to 0.2 and click this apply button and this is the isoline created in V direction. And the next one is surface from face. So a new face can be created by selecting the face. So here I'll select this face and you can see this is the face created here and click this apply button to save the changes. So this is the new face created. Now I'll select the next tool, plane, and this is the plane property panel. So you can see we have 5 algorithms to create a plane and here I have selected the first algorithm and in this algorithm to create a plane we need to select point and vector and specify the size of the plane. So from the view I'll select this vertex and for the vector I'll select OX. You can also select the vertex from object browser So you can see that this is the point, and this point is the center of this plane, and by default with the plane size of 2000 the plane is created in the view. So here I'll change the vector to OY, and you can see in the OY direction the vector is created, and I'll change to OZ, and this point acts as the center point of this plane. So I'll set the plane size to 1000. So this is how the plane is constructed. Now click this apply button to save the changes. In this case I have selected second algorithm, and in this algorithm we need to select 3 points and specify the size of the plane. So here from this plane I will select these 3 points. So this will be the first point, and for the second point I'll select this vertex, and this will be the third vertex for the point 3. And by default you can see with the plane size of 2000 a new plane is created here. So you can see I have selected these 3 points, and this is the first, second, third, and this is how the plane is constructed. Now I'll specify the size of the plane to 1500. So now I'll click the apply and close button to save the changes. So you can see that if I click this apply button, the property panel will not be closed, and you can again edit and create new points. Now I want to close this property panel, so I'll click this apply and close button. Now I'll select the third algorithm, and in this algorithm we need to select a face and specify the size of the plane, and you can see that from this object I'll select this face, and by default with the plane size of 2000 a new plane is created on this selected face. Now I'll set the size of the plane. If you want, you can set the size of the plane. Now I'll click this apply and close button to save the changes, and you can see this is the new plane created. So now I'll select the fourth algorithm, and in this algorithm we need to select vectors and specify the size of the plane, and for the vector x I'll select OY and vector z OX, and by default with the plane size of 2000 a new plane is created. So this is the plane. So now in this case I will select objects normals to create a plane. Now for vector x I will select this edge, and for the vector z I will select this edge, and you can see based on these selected edges the plane is constructed with the plane size of 2000. So this is how the plane is constructed. So now I'll select the fifth algorithm, and in this algorithm we can also select the plane if we want, or a plane will be created automatically in the trihedron, and also we can also select the orientations here and specify the size of the plane. So here I will select this plane, and you can see that with the orientation of OXY, a plane is created, so making this as origin, and this will be in X and Y. A plane is created. Now I'll change to OYZ. So you can see that in O, Y and Z axis as the orientations, a plane is created, and the last one is OZX. This is the origin O, Z and X. So you can see this is how the plane is created. Now I'll set the size of the plane to 2500 and click this apply and close button, and this is the plane created. So the next tool is create a local coordinate system. So you can create LCS. So we have three types to create local coordinate system. Here I have selected the first one. So you can see in the property panel, so coordinates of origin, and from x-axis and y-axis you can change the direction and you can create a local coordinate system. So from the coordinates of origin, I'll change to 20, in x and y to 30 and z to 15. Here you can see I changed the x and y directions and click this apply button to save the changes. In the second algorithm, we can create a local coordinate system by selecting objects. So here I'll select this face, and you can see a local coordinate system is created. And now I'll select the third algorithm, and in this algorithm we need to select a point and select x-axis direction and y-axis direction to create this local coordinate system. And for the point, I'll select this vertex from this object, and for the x-axis direction I'll select this edge, and for the y-axis I'll select this edge, and this is the LCS created. Now click this apply button to save the changes. And the last one is create an origin and base vectors, and clicking on it will automatically create the base and origin vectors. And this is the end of the video, and thanks for watching.